In a world chasing clicks and quick hacks, we're here for what actually lasts. This is the long game, where PR meets relationship marketing. Real talk, real leaders, and real results. We're cutting through the noise to show how credibility, connection, and consistency builds brands that endure. So whether you're an overwhelmed digital marketer, a business owner trying to stand out, or a thought leader ready to just level up, welcome to the long game. Because building something that lasts takes heart. So let's welcome your host, Jeremy Knauff and Jessika Suter. Let's go. All right, let's go. It is Tuesday and it's time for the long game. And we are so excited for this episode, talking about how your reputation is your business card. And we have the perfect guest to do just that and to share all her hacks and secrets on how she can help amplify your business through building up your reputation. I'm talking about the one and only Tracy Phillips. If you've not met her before, she was at Social Media Week Lima 2025 this past year. She's going to be back because she was a crowd favorite. But let me just give you a sneak peek into her bio before we dive in. Tracy Phillips is an Emmy-nominated video and visibility expert who has harnessed her 24 plus video production expertise. I mean, she must have started when she was 10. I'm just saying. And award-winning documentary skills to help businesses create testimonial videos that do the selling for you. Because I'm not sure if you guys know this, but 90% of all buying decisions start online. And most people are looking at reviews and what others have to say about you. So she helps you harness that. I'm not going to give away all the secrets just yet, but she is well-versed in recruiting, fundraising, and helping brands tell their story. Tracy is celebrated for her unmatched expertise, her quick wit, which you will hear today and witness, her boundless enthusiasm for guiding her clients and students, and the effective use of video to impact both internal and global audiences. Her signature laugh and learn style of presenting has made her one of the most sought out speakers, guests for live shows like this and other things. But without further ado, I'm just going to welcome Tracy on to the stage. Hey, Tracy, we have a fun backstory too that I have to share.
Hi, that is quite the intro. I mean, now I want to hear me. I better be quick-witted.
You are quick-witted. So Tracy and I met at Abundance Worldwide. It was almost like a year and a half ago, almost 2 years now. And we met through Sean Q, which was doing Abundance Worldwide master class. And we both were there. And to end this event, there was a dinner where you had to dress up. And Tracy was like, I don't know that I have a dress for this dinner. And I'm like, wait, I overpacked. I packed 2 suitcases for like 3 days. And I bring to Tracy all these dresses. And I'm like, hey, you can wear this one or this one or this one. And honestly, y'all, she wore it better. I'm going to have to include the photo in the blog recap because she owned this dress. It was made for her. But that's how we met and bonded. And also for my past surname, which was Phillips. But we connected and I loved her right away. So welcome, Tracy.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say I wore the dress better, but I was just happy to have the dress. It was gorgeous. So pretty. Yeah, so happy to be here.
So I want to jump into something here, Tracy, real quick with you. But before I do that, Jess, if we're ever at an event and I forget to pack something, I don't want to borrow a dress. So we'll just go ahead and get that out of the way. All right.
Okay. Well, right. I'll try to pack some ties or some shirts or something.
All right, good. I think we're on the same track here then. Good to go. Good to go. Tracy, so something I wanted to throw at you real quick right out of the gate is, just the foundational process of getting a review in the first place, right? Like people suck at this. I find that when most people are asking for a review, they sound kind of like that cringy 13-year-old boy asking the first girl out, right? So what thoughts do you have about what they should be doing to get it right? Like, how should they ask that question?
I have so many thoughts, Jeremy. I love this question because Jessika will tell you from stage, the ask is so important, and that is what business owners get wrong. The first part is if they're not asking, they're getting it wrong, because you need to be asking. This is your relationship equity, right? You need to get these voices, and you're really amplifying the voices of your customers. It's so important, but because it's kind of hard or people feel like a nag, they don't do it. And when they do it, they do one of two things, which are no-nos. And I'm going to tell you, it's like Voldemort, don't do this. Please do not ask your client or customer to just drop a video for you, because now you are putting the onus on them. Not everybody loves getting on video. In fact, very few people do. And so they loved you until you asked them to do that for them, right? Like, they do love you, but now you've made it something and they're like, oh my gosh, you know what? I actually have to call the IRS first, and then I'll drop that video for Jeremy. Right? And so what happens is people are like, nobody's sending me anything back. And I'm like, I don't know why. Why is because you've made it very hard for them. The second one is a lot of people use apps. And I love the idea of an app. I may even be designing an app, but most of the apps are just like these self-run things, and people are worried about how they look and sound. And again, you're putting the onus on them to perform and do well. And so if you want to do it and you want to do it right, it's all in the ask. And the first part of that is, don't mention video testimonials when you're asking someone. Say, I'm a word of mouth business. I would love to share your story. Will you share that story with me? Or something like that. Just don't mention video testimonial. And then once they're like, I would love to, because they want to, right? They're already talking about you. Like, conversations are already happening about you in text, on the phone, on the line at the supermarket, but you're not capturing those. And so this is your opportunity to say, like, I want to share that story. And it's so nice for the customer too, because it's their win as well. It's you nodding and saying, like, I want to make you famous. I want you to tell the story. And it's really the difference, a huge difference between a video testimonial and a case study, right? Case study is about you, the business owner, and what you've done for the customer. And a video testimonial is about that customer and how they use your services. And it seems nuanced, but they are very, very different. But I would love to see more people like really have a system for social proof, for video testimonials.
I love the framing of that, especially around not talking about it being a video testimonial, because people kind of panic about that. I've never really thought about doing that before. But then that segues into, another question that I think a lot of people have. This maybe sound a little dirty, but how long should it be?
It's like I set you up for this, Jeremy, or something. So I like to say, like, you can have a very long 6-minute video and a very short 6-minute video. It really depends on the content. And what I always say to people when they're like, how long should a video be? I said, your video is like a mini skirt. It should be short enough. A mini skirt. It should be short enough to keep me interested and long enough to cover the bare essentials. You're welcome. Yeah, that's great. And so, but this is the truth about video. Now, we are moving into a space where, especially with video testimonials, and this is something I see people do a lot, is they'll interview the customer. We can kind of talk about why I don't love that, but they'll do the interviewing and they'll post this like 20 to 30-minute video of them interviewing someone. And I'm like, oh my gosh, right? So our videos, when we work with clients, I mean, I don't think they're longer than 90 seconds. Every once in a while, maybe we'll have something go a little longer because the person's not done. Right? Like, and so there is no right or wrong video length, but when we are talking about video today and bringing people into the world and we want a library of them, I would say keep your video testimonials under 90 seconds.
Love that. So love that analogy. And you and Jeremy would hit it off with your sarcasm. You did, for sure. And I've been witness to your video testimonial framework and what you've done based on, just connecting with you, hearing you speak at Social Media Week Lima 2025 this past year, and then also working mutually with one of our clients, Maverick Label, which we were trying to get video testimonials for him in addition to the case studies. So I would love for others to hear part of your framework of how you get from needing, wanting / testimonials to actually kind of the process to get that started. What does that look like? And how is it different from brands reaching out where you're like, hey, don't email them to ask them to give you a testimonial because that's going to turn them off. What does that look like?
So, and again, I love this question just because our process is what really differentiates us, right? Like this is the thing where we have clients who have flown people into their Austin headquarters and they've had multiple camera shoots and stuff like that. And they're like, they're pretty, but they're not converting. And I'm like, well, they're not converting because the people aren't comfortable. So we really, when we talk about relationship first is because I come from the video world and I've interviewed from kids to world leaders, right? Like, so but you need someone, they need to be comfortable and they need to feel like they can't get it wrong. And this is that like they're not performing, right? They are simply having a conversation. So there's a couple things. It starts with the ask. So we help our clients. We have, proven emails that never say video testimonial in the subject line, but, and we say, and we keep it short. So the process is we do it remotely. So the person they're in their home, in their office. We've had a few from the car, and instead of saying like, no, be home, I was like, this is great. What feels more authentic than somebody actually sitting in their car? As long as the lighting is good and we can hear you, it's so much about the content. And so we have structured our process about understanding that the client needs it to be easy, right? We say it's ridiculously easy for our clients, and it's even easier for their happy customers to participate. And we have a 98% show up rate. And that's important because once you're in our world, so, and you've experienced this, right? Like once you're in our world, there are 4 touch points before they even hop on with an interviewer. And it doesn't feel like a 60 minutes interview. It feels like a conversation. We use a platform called Riverside. I love it, but it's just recording them separately. It's recording us separately. And I don't send questions ahead of time ever. In fact, our clients have to sign in their client agreement that they understand that we are not sending questions ahead of time. And the reason is, and this is for all of you who are like, no, I have some type A's who are like, but I need questions. When you get questions ahead of time, you are thinking about what it is you are going to say. Because you read over the questions, even if you didn't formally put them on anything, you're thinking, wait, what did I want to say about that? And then you're not in the moment. And so we always say we want people answering from here, not from here, right? And so what we are able to get in those conversations is real, authentic people pausing, thinking, looking, sometimes crying, right? And so we are able to catch that emotion on video, and that's so hard to get, regardless of what the emotion is. But when people are making decisions, they're basing it on an emotion, and we need to feel something in order to do something. And so we want that initial feeling to be, I want that. And Jessika, like from stage, I always say, it's mirror neurons. There's science. We don't have to go into that, but people will see you telling your story and sharing your wins, and they want that too. They're happy you had the win, and then that transfer, those mirror neurons are like, but now I want that as well. And so it's really, the process is to make the person on the other end of the virtual screen as comfortable as possible so that they open up and tell a unique story.
I love that. There was something you talked about them sometimes being not as polished. Yeah. I've always been kind of torn on that because I'm very much I want everything perfect kind of person.
Sure. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Anal. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometime in the Marine Corps will do that to you. But what are your thoughts on the, I guess, authenticity of how people perceive that versus a more polished version?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can tell you because we've studied it, is that the ones that feel more like a conversation convert a lot better. And again, and I'm sure Scalable doesn't mind that I share this, Ryan Dice and Richard Linder own Scalable, and they're a client of ours. And Richard Linder came to me. They had tried the video apps. They had flown people in for those very high polished foods, and they weren't converting. And so, and he heard about me from someone who works there, who said, the lady has a process, but there is virtual. And he's like, I didn't even know that could be a thing. And so you're getting someone, again, it's that comfort level. We always try to make them look and sound as great as possible, but we have limitations, like what is their internet speed, what is their camera like they're using, and that type of thing. We can do it on the phone, which most phones now far exceed any of the laptops anyway. So it's easier for us to get nicer quality, but the quality really isn't nearly as important as what is coming out of their mouth. So listen, Jeremy, as somebody who comes from come from high production, teams of people, cameras, lights, people to do things. That's why, like, people ask me questions, specific production questions. I'm like, I got a guy for that. I don't really know the answer to that. Right? Like, right. I know what my job was. So it's not, there's a time and a place for those types of videos. But video testimonials are not it. Because again, we want people to lean in and say, they're like me. And if they are highly produced and polished, that person's not thinking they're like me. If they're in their car or they're in their office or wherever they are, they're like, oh yeah, that looks just like my office.
Interesting. Do you think that varies based on who your demographic is, right? Like if you're going after Fortune 500 versus smaller mom and pop companies?
It doesn't. No. And that's where I said, like, so the Fortune 500 company, maybe their homepage video, that kind of stuff, that can be high production stuff. But when we're talking about real humans using, and we have some big companies that we've done video testimonials for. And again, it's the person sitting in their office talking about the experience that sells the next person. And what we say is your future customer is hearing what they need to hear from your current customer. And that's what we're really capturing.
Awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Mark says, when I travel, go out to eat or buy tech, I watch the video reviews that are less polished, not authentic looking.
Yes.
And so it sounds like you're doing the same thing, whether they're Fortune 500 or a small mom and pop business, which I love because I do the same thing. Like, I'm looking for that social proof, as we talked about, like 90% of all buying decisions start online, and people are looking for now word of mouth, not just word of mouth.
Yeah.
But I would love to hear from you, Tracy. Like, you are so gifted at this. Like, I feel like it's so innate that it's just like built into you. But like, how did you get into this, and why? Maybe even share not only how you got into this, but like maybe one of your favorite success stories for a brand that you've worked with.
Ooh, those are great ones. I love Joe. I loved working with Joe too. So I love that. I love, like, whatever current client we were working with, because it's so fun to view their success through the lens of their customers, like that. And I think that's what makes what we do a little bit different too, is like, I'm truly lit up when I get to meet someone, and we have clients all over the world, right? I'm interviewing people in Holland and Australia and New Zealand and Spain. And so it's really fun to be able to do that. Again, my documentary background.
Maybe we should tell people like who Joe is, just so you guys know.
Oh, sorry, Joe.
Joe, we know Joe.
Hi, Joe.
For you to know Joe, he is a small, medium-sized business that prints labels. It's Maverick Label, LLC, in a small town in Ohio. And he is selling a very unsexy product. Okay, let's just be honest. It's a label, it's custom printed labels, but he had a hard time getting testimonial reviews until Tracy came along.
Well, and let's talk about
and made it happen.
Yeah, but let's talk about Joe, because Joe has, and like a lot of people, Joe has a business that now very easily someone can just go online. They can go to Amazon and get a label, but not like Joe's. And so what we did in those testimonial videos is, like, a lot of them were based on, like, you can go to Amazon and get the cheap stuff, or you can go to Joe and it will be right. And he'll work with you, and you can ask the dumb questions, and you can write. And so that is really the difference, is having the business and being able to extract those stories that are important to him as a business, but were also important to his customers. So yeah, I loved working with Joe, just because, like, I don't know anything about label making, and now I know a lot about it. But I loved working with Joe because he watched the videos, and we were working with Now Marketing. And so it was great. Andres was able to post the videos, and Andres was great because every time he got a video, he was like, this is great. This is great. But Joe would come back and be like, I'd hire me. Like, he was so like, this is amazing. And that just lights me up. And I think that my background in this, or how I got into it, is just really the documentary, like that work is you are interviewing all kinds of people who don't have camera experience, right? Because it's a documentary. So you're not like using talent in documentaries. That would be unethical, right? You're using actual people. And so I just had a knack for being able to kind of sit down with people, drop the clipboard. One of my camera guys said, like, it'd be great if you dropped the clipboard because it makes you more intimidating. And that was it. I never held a clipboard again. Right. I just kind of had a conversation with them. And so everything we do is based on a very human level of like, what do we need to do to make the person on the other end of the virtual camera comfortable? And what does the future customer of our current customer need to hear to make a good decision? And so we create a library. That's the other thing, is like, we don't have a library of like, Joe is great. We have a library of, we have a business where something has to be in a refrigerator and we didn't know how to get a label that would stick. 2, we needed a label that was specific to fit on this type of thing. So that he's talking about different label things, but they're not all just, they all said Joe is great, but that's not what we use, right? We create what I like to call a library of love. And it needs to hit different points because your buyer, your customer journey, they're in a different place. They're thinking about a different objection or whatever it is. And so we really pride ourselves on saying, like, we need to hit each of these things, and each video is going to talk about a different point. And this is what I see. I know you didn't ask, Jeremy, but I'm going to add one more thing. What I see people do wrong is they kind of do like what I call the video vomit of video testimonials, where someone says everything and they include that all in one video testimonial. Whereas we have each video testimonial talks about a specific point or topic.
I love the approach you're taking with that, because it goes a long way in creating that credibility that everyone's looking for, right? If it's just, hey, Joe's great, Joe's the best, Joe's awesome, like that doesn't mean anything to anyone.
True, but yeah.
Talking about it the way you are, like that talks about the capabilities. It talks about solving the problems. And I love that. This is something I always talk about with clients when it comes to PR. Like, journalists are looking for proof that you're actually an expert. Clients do as well, obviously, right? But what are some of the ways that you're using these testimonials, or not you, but the client, beyond the obvious, right? Of course, we're going to post them on our website. Yeah. Of course, we're going to probably put them up on YouTube. But what are some of the other maybe unconventional ways that you're telling your clients to use some of these? Well, you need a sound effect for that, the snap thing too.
Wow. I love that question, because it's something we talk about and we work with our clients. Like, after, like when we've delivered about 5 of them, we usually hop on and have a little marketing call. Like, okay, let's not underutilize these, right? Like, so one of the things too, when we talk about seeing another human face, they do really well as ads. So, and that maybe people are like, yeah, but they're hard to get, right? Like, so not a lot of people use them. So not a lot of people are seeing real humans talking about it. And I know we talked about, like, he puts on a, like, I am human. We created a little check mark and something that we put up in the upper right that says, like, I am human, because people are really hungry for actual humans talking about their experience. But yeah, I mean, so email signatures. So I am the type of person, if you're communicating with me and you have like a link under your name, I will click it. So what if you're a business owner having conversations with people and it leads to your testimonial page? That'd be awesome. Not like, what am I telling you about you in this email, but like, what are other people saying about my company or whatever it is? Proposals. If you send any kind of proposal out, and as a speaker, I have to send proposals out, and I will put video testimonials of like Jessika talking about me like the event. Why did she bring me in? Why was I a fan favorite? Why? That has a whole lot more pull than me just saying she's a highly sought after speaker. I'm having people on there. So like, proposals are a great place to use them. Obviously on your website, social, like you said, Yeah, but I think the email signature is the one that I think people don't really think about that, but it's something they're seeing every single day.
And that's
Awesome.
why I was getting excited about it and doing these fingers. It's because I've been able to utilize some of these testimonials that Tracy has developed, and we've used them in organic ways on some of the social and, of course, the website.
Yeah.
Not quite got into the email signature yet, but will do. Noted. But that helps amplify the ads, because we always look at what's going to work first organically
Yes.
on the social platforms and then turn it into potential ads, because the proof is, like you said, Tracy, what other people are saying about you versus what you're saying about you. And you do a beautiful job of helping cut and edit and deliver a story of why people should choose a brand, an event, whatever, whomever you're working with. And they're sharing little snippets of that. And we can capture that, share it organically, and then amplify the things that are working through ads on their website, etc.
Yes.
So love, love, love that. Before we dive into the next question, everyone that's joining in with us, first of all, thank you. We will be back here next week too. But if you've not already signed up already for the long game recap of this, because you're going to want to hear everything that Tracy has to share, and I'll drop in some of the examples of the work that she's done. I'm
Okay, not just me then.
No.
Jess, your audio's out.
Yep. Yep. There. Now you're back.
Am I back? All right. I don't know where I dropped off, but if you've not already signed up, please, I'm dropping in the link right now for the long game, where you can get a recap of this show, as well as some of the examples from Tracy, and notifications for next week. We'll have on Phil Mershon for next week. So definitely sign up if you're not already signed up for the long game. Sorry, apologize about the audio. Not sure how that turned off. But Tracy, tell me how brands can find you, and what their process needs to be to start working with you, if they're interested in creating some of these testimonial videos that are.
Thanks. So my company is called Testamagical, which I know sounds dirty, but it's memorable. Yeah, Testamagical. Yeah, testamagical.com. You can see examples, our process, all of that, and you can just book a call. That's the first step, because we want to know, like, are we a good fit, logistics, all of that type of thing. I hang out on LinkedIn, so Tracy Phillips on LinkedIn too, and I am an open book. I am truly the type of person that I just love meeting new people. So if you're unsure if it'd be right for your company, like, let's chat. But yes, so testamagical.com.
That's awesome. So what kind of things should brands prepare before they go to the Testamagical, it is memorable, .com site, which I'll drop the link here shortly. What kinds of things should they prepare or think about before they start working with you?
There's not a whole lot that the company has to do other than have happy customers. So this is one of those conversations that, every once in a while I'll get on with someone and they're just not quite big enough to feel like we work in packages or we have recurring. You would want at least 6 or 10 people we can reach out to, and that's like the bare minimum. If you're growing, we have a recurring program where we do 2 a month, but that is really the only thing. You don't even really need to think of, like, is this person good on camera? It doesn't matter. We help you. Like, the only thing our customer does is send out the first ask. That's it. It comes from you, because hello at Testamagical, who's going to open that, right? So it would come from Jessika or from Jeremy, but you CC us in it, and from there we do all the follow-up. Right? Whether I even drop little videos where I'm like, hey, it's your favorite video nudge, right? Like, and then they're like, oh, right, I forgot to do, right? Like, so we'll do that. Everybody says nagging, but that follow-up for you, and we do it in a very respectful way. We work with people who very big company brands, right? So I've interviewed people from Estee Lauder and GM and all like big companies, Cisco. Like, we are very mindful that they are busy people and don't have a lot of time. And so you really need to just think about, like, do I have the people? Do I have enough people? And then we will help you get those people on video.
Love it.
Love that. Jeremy, you were asking about Tyrone earlier, so I thought I could potentially share my screen and show one of the cell phone interviews from Tracy, where she did just an impromptu testimonial with Tyrone.
No audio.
But you can see how cute he is. Oh, Tyrone. Obviously, we use captions for a reason when there's no audio.
Yeah.
But you can see how short that was, too.
Sweet and to the point, and we've used this a ton of times already.
Yeah.
But this is just a sneak peek into Tracy's work that is testamagical, for sure. And I've worked with you, like I mentioned, with clients too. So Tracy, if somebody wants to get started working with you, what's the best place where they can reach out?
So I would, you can obviously email me at tracy@testamagical.com and say Jessika and Jeremy sent me, or you can book a call directly through testamagical.com. Easy for me to say.
We'll help you with the big words.
Thank you.
All good, but love your formula, love what you do, have been witness, as I mentioned, to the work that you've produced, and definitely a believer. Hope more brands, as things become more dark social in the inboxes, in the private chat rooms, in places where people are sharing off, hey, here's who I recommend, and it's not public knowledge, for us, for brands to really take note of this and start building up their own reputation and owning that and creating these testimonial videos. Not just words of Joe is great, but why, the story behind it that aligns with the people that he or you are trying to attract, and creating that from here on out. And Tracy, I'm so excited to have you back at Social Media Week Lima 2026 as well. But for all of you, if you've not signed up, join the long game email list. We'll recap this into a blog. We'll share some of Tracy's examples as well as the recap of this live show. And next week, we'll be back here on Tuesday with Phil Marchand talking about memorable events at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
You know that Phil is a client of mine as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I love this energy. Love this. All of it. All good. If you have any questions for Tracy, please drop them in the comments, whether you're watching this live or watching the replay, and we'll make sure it gets to her. But Tracy, thank you so much for your time. It's been a long time coming. The long game coming.
It's a long game, though. It's like worth the wait, right? It is worth the wait.
For sure.
And Jeremy, so nice to meet you.
Likewise.
You're definitely going to get in trouble in Lima. I can feel it.
100%.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready. Let's get ready. All right. Well, thank you, all of you. And thanks, Jeremy and Tracy and all of you for watching this live. And for those of you watching the replay, hope to see you back next Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, have a great week, everyone. Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.